Today on This Old House, what do you do in your backyard on a cold winter's night in upstate New York? You played some hockey.
And when you can't run your pipes through a steel beam, a coffered ceiling could be your best friend.
And today we start framing a challenging staircase.
Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to our project here in Saratoga Springs, where a lot has happened in the last couple weeks. Let me show you some of the progress. So this entryway right here, that's going to be the main entryway for our homeowners into a mudroom, into this glorious space right here. Look at all of this. There might be a fireplace on that wall, but there is definitely a bank of windows on this wall. Big open floor plan for the family room and kitchen. And all that was possible because of the steel that went in. So you can see all the steel beams. Those were flown over the roof with a crane. And then Matt and his crew, Tommy and I, helped install them. They are resting on posts in the corners and along the walls. And it gives us this wide open space. Views of the backyard, a little dining area right here. Now Nick's woodpile is eventually going to become a large island right here with stove and counters behind it. And then over here, somewhere about here or so, there'll be a partition wall, a little pantry right off of the kitchen, and then in the front of the house, now this is from 1864 right here, we'll have a formal living room, formal dining room right here. Nice touch. And then all of it sort of wraps around a new center staircase. You can see the stairs being laid out here, and this goes up 3 stories to skylights in the roof. You'll recall that this is a 2-family house, and over here is where Evan's mom, Susan, is living. And not a lot has changed. This is her bedroom up front, and then this in here is going to be a guest bedroom, which you'll actually have to walk through to get to a modest bathroom back here. And right here, this is where her unit ends, because on the other side of this bathroom wall, we've got the, hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey, Kevin.
We have got the master suite. So on this side, master bedroom. Check out the beautiful bay windows that we've got looking onto the backyard. And there's a matching bay window over here in what is going to be the master bathroom. And right here, back of the house, just 2 stories. But as you push forward, this is a master closet. And right here is going to be a guest bedroom. As you push forward, we are now 3 stories. And check this out, the original framing. I mean, this says it all, right? A lot has happened since 1864. The house has changed a ton. The old insulation and the old bedroom up here on the 2nd floor, which, as I said, a 3rd floor, and right now the only access to there is via the ladder. This 3rd floor used to be an apartment unit, and it had, well, let's just say it had a lot of character. It had the very low ceilings, but not enough character to save, so it is all gone. This roof has been switched a number of times over the years. Everything has been replaced. We've now got 30 trusses that have been flown in. We've had the dormers stick framed right there. And we'll end up with another guest bedroom, maybe a man cave, a little laundry room in the back, and a bathroom over there. So like I said, a lot of progress in the last few weeks, including rough plumbing, which is going in, which is not too big of a problem up here because it's all new and it's wood. But downstairs where there's steel, nothing but trouble for Richard.
Up here on the 2nd floor is the perfect location for a master bedroom. Perfect light coming in. It's above the great room down below. Made great because there's no partitions. It's a wide open space. The obvious place for the master bathroom is right here. Big, beautiful tub sitting here, light coming in. 2 vanities right here, a shower stall right here, and a toilet tucked here away. You know, perfect location, easy to draw on the plans, but not so easy on this particular building to get the pipes to run where they have to. Joel Chaperjon is our plumbing and our heating contractor. I hope we start
Hey,
the heating
Richard.
pretty soon. How
yeah,
are you?
right. It's cold this morning
Is this
here.
it was -4. I
Yeah.
don't know how you guys do it here. It's unbelievable. All right, so take us through the challenges. You know, we know we've got plumbing fixtures upstairs, but what do you got to do to get them run into this building?
Yeah, you know, this building's a real challenge. Up in the ceiling, we've got a lot of steel beams that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the challenges that we normally find is, you know, getting our toilet drop down to the basement. In this case, it was really easy to run this toilet drop from the second floor. We ran it down through this floor joist cavity, and then we dropped down through this wall bay.
So normally you do a branch Y and go over and pick up the shower stall right here, but you got all this steel in the way. There's no way to get through that.
Yeah, this has been a challenging project, and so what we found out though is that there's going to be a coffer ceiling here in this kitchen area,
Okay,
and what that
box
is,
beams,
yeah,
yeah.
a box beam. So we can use this to actually hide our pipes in. So this is going to go up here where the coffer ceiling's going to be.
Come all the way along.
Yeah, it's going to.
And look what it
Keep
does for
going.
you. Look what it
And
does
so-
for you.
Yeah, so we get an opportunity to hide some pipes in there.
So the shower stall comes down here, goes into there. Here's the tub drain going right into here. All right, so now you're into this horizontal. Then how do you get to the basement?
Well, actually, we have a great opportunity here where that coffer comes, and we just have a vertical box
Oh, they have
here.
a vertical one too.
Yeah.
Like it
so
was
we-
made for you.
Right.
Perfect.
But we're not done yet. We have another vanity that we've got to get dropped to the basement. And if you look back here, we've got a piece of steel that we can't
Oh,
go
yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So we've decided that we're going to drill a few floor joists over to actually another coffer.
So you have another coffer going this way.
Yep.
All right. See, that's great. You come through here, boom, boom, and you're still below that.
We're going to drop right there.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know who gets credit, whether it's the designer or the architect for putting in these coffered ceilings, but it really saved our bacon here.
Sure did.
It sure did. All right, let's keep working. We'll stay warm.
This side porch that we're so keen on saving is coming back to life. You can see that the ceiling and roof have now been tied into the new wall that Tommy and Matt just raised, and the rod underneath has sort of been reframed right here. But Matt, your job is not done. You still got some more to go. What's next on your list?
Yeah, so we're trying to get this drain plane installed, which is really important. We can see the remnants down here of the old deck ledger that is rotted apart.
And that's just water damage over the years, right? That's
Yeah.
inevitable if this stuff gets wet and can't dry.
Starts getting wet, insects move in, and we really don't want that to happen. So to structurally re-support all this, we've jacked it up, put a new deck ledger in, a carrier beam that's flush with the floor system. That'll allow us to be able to re-support everything. Now we have to redo the decking itself, which is a tongue and groove. That can create some issues with how water is going to migrate out of this system as we get driving rain.
So even though we have a roof, because this is going to be screens, that driving rain is going to get in. And you're saying, well, we got tongue and groove on the floor.
That's right. We want to consider how the water can evacuate instead of being locked in between the floor system and the wall. And since there's no separation of these pieces like a deck system might have, with this being more like an interior floor,
The water's not going to drip through like an outside deck.
that's right, no space in between for the water to run out or air to be able to get in there and help encourage drying. So we want to make sure that we get this blocking system in. And there's a lot of ways this can be done. This is pretty simple. We're going to use some leftover pieces of material here, put some 2x blocks in, and we've set the initial support up to make sure that we'll put one last ledger on here that'll bring us flush with the old shiplap material and create a nice nailing surface for our drain plane and our water table.
And that leaves you this gap right here. So that's water down, air up.
That's right, and this is crucial really. When we think about being durable, drainable, and dryable, we want that water to be able to flow through this passage and a good convective flow of air to be able to come back out.
Durable, drainable, and dryable.
That's right.
I like that. So this is in the front. Anything on the back?
So in the back, we put a new ledger in. We use some weatherization using some of this acrylic in between with a vent strip, and then added another ledger to the face of that. That creates a good nailing system for our decking board. That way we can bring our fasteners out away from the end and minimize splitting in the board. Then we've put bevels on the ends of each of the boards. This will be hidden so that the water can come through that channel and make sure it can drain out to the face here.
Whew, look at you. You got it all going on. All right. So I see these blocks are going in. Is that our next step?
The blocks are the next step.
All right, let's get them in. Okay, blocks are in.
Blocks are in. So now we're going to put another ledger on the face of this. This will give us a good nailer, and it's ready to go. We'll just flush this up with the end here, Kevin.
Wait, so hang on a second, Matt. If you're using a tape, a soft flashing on the back, and sort of a mechanical vent piece, are you not using those here as well?
Yeah, it's really not needed here. Kind of unnecessary redundancy. As we have this pressure-treated material, it isn't going to encourage rot where we have a connection from a drier material like the orientated strand board and the pressure-treated. We want to encourage that water to stay out away from it. In this situation, we don't want to trap any water in here. So the faster that water moves and the better this stays aerated, the longer all these materials should last.
Okay. All right, let me see if I can ledge this up. Yep. One more right there. All right, that is on. Any chance you want to prove to me your system works?
I think there wouldn't be a better time to take a look at it.
Before you cover everything up.
That's right.
So I set up a few deck boards to illustrate how our system will work. Before installing the decking, we will prime the bevel cuts to protect the end grain.
Oh, look at you, Matt, huh?
Is it working pretty well?
So it's coming right through the gap as planned, and the front of your second ledger is dry.
That's great.
That is great. I'm a believer. Nice job.
Good. Thank you.
It's cold, Matt.
It's pretty cold out, yeah.
It's looking good in here.
Thanks. Trying to get these stairs moving along. A lot of geometry here. And obviously the confines of some of the old walls and some of the new to make sure we blend everything and get our head heights established.
Yeah, stairs are always a challenge trying to get them to fit into the configuration of the plan layout. Plus the fact that you have this angled landing stair here brings it right into the living room. Really nice.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of issues with trying to get the landing set to the right elevation, make sure our rise and run configuration was going to work out right. You'll see our landing up here. We have a floor joist heading in one direction, bearing off of this knee wall, and then heading perpendicular to that is the next step landing. And you'll see that I had to angle these floor joists as they cantilevered to make sure they weren't violating code for the head height of the plane of the stairs.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have a story pole here, all marked off, showing the location of all the treads. That's key. I like to do that myself.
That's right. And as we're changing from a 3/4 inch to a 1 inch finish,
Yeah.
that 1/4 inch change could make us violate code if we're not establishing that now.
Exactly. So what are you using for stringer material?
So the stringer material is going to be an LSL material, which is
good.
an engineered material.
Yeah, I like that a lot better.
Great about this, like 2x dimensional, where we have to worry about where knot placement might be close to a cut.
Cupping.
Yeah, cupping, wanes, crowning of the material.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing really that we find about some of the dimensional material is this interior cut. Even though it's kiln dried material, this inside cut's going to be the damper part of the wood, which
Exactly.
means it's going to be prone to shrink up more. So if I make this 90 degrees now and nice and square, and it shrinks a little bit, you got a high tendency for a squeak to happen anywhere on these inside parts of the edge.
A lot of people don't realize about that. That can cause screw popping, but it also, because when the tread is nailed to here and the nail is into this wood here, as the wood shrinks, the nail stays actually up. And so now the tread has a tendency to just go up and down on the nail and squeak.
Yep.
It's true. Let's put that up there, see how it's going to look. All right, so that's going to look good.
Yep.
Yep. So that stairway is going to come down, underside's going to meet up with that angle, rest on the landing, step down, rest on the landing, another run down, and then a rest on the angle, and you're into the living space.
Yep, that's it.
Looking good, Matt. A lot of work involved in these things.
Yeah, we got a ready.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it. I can't wait to see the finish.
Thanks.
Matt, I love to see the progress of this roof deck going down.
Thanks.
Although I will admit I'm a little confused because I'm seeing what I think is a ridge vent, and I thought we were going to spray foam the underside of this roof deck. So is it a vented roof or not a vented roof?
So this is going to be an unvented roof, or similar to what people would refer to as a hot roof.
Yeah.
We still have an opening in the top of this system, but it is going to be a hot roof. Typically, you're going to see a system like this, where you have an opening at the top, and what would be a vented or a cold roof system. So
Right.
you'd have an intake and an exhaust, something around the soffits to be able to take air in, bring it up across the bottom of the roof deck, and exhaust out the top.
Which we love, right? I mean, it does so much for us.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to keep our shingles a pretty moderate temperature, or really close to what the inside and outside temperature is. That's going to allow them to really cooperate well and not super expand or contract and then cause buckling anywhere in the roof.
So you are spraying foam on the other side of this deck, which leads me back to this vent again. What the heck is this for?
So we're going to put this in as what's referred to as a diffusion vent. So this is primarily used just to pull vapor out of the building. And we want to use a system that's going to allow that as a gas to come back up or perm to the surface.
And what is it that you're worried is going to happen if you don't have this?
So our concern with that is that we go from a gas to a liquid state. And then it's going to, as a liquid, soak into our underlayment, our sheathing, and then that's going to degrade it and cause it to fail.
Failures you've seen before?
These are failures we've seen. We don't always find them, but it doesn't take much sometimes to get small rot spots around the roof, and we've seen a few that were really bad.
Okay, so this is part of the system right here? What are we looking at?
So this underlayment right here, which is a synthetic underlayment, has got a higher perm rating than most of the synthetic underlayments, and that's really important that we don't just put any underlayment down, that we put something with a high perm rate.
And by perm rate, you mean permeable. So the more permeable, the more vapor can go through it, the less permeable, less vapor, right?
That's right.
And in this case, vapor goes through it, but not air, not water.
Well, that's the idea. That's why we're using a roofing underlayment, because it's designed not to let water go through it, but it's going to allow vapor to come through.
And so is this one ready to go down?
It's ready to go.
Can you show me like sort of what the process is?
Yep. We're just going to roll this out and staple it off.
So we're spraying foam underneath. Closed or open?
We're going to put a closed cell on and then back that up with an open cell insulation.
So we're going to get a high R value and we don't have to pay the price for a full closed cell throughout the entire thing?
This is going to help protect our roof right now as we get some bad weather coming in. We want to keep anything from coming through the ridge opening. And the guys will continue running roofing underlayment up here, and then it's just a normal shingle job from there.
In Boston, when we say they're skating in the garden, we're talking about the Bruins hockey team. But today, we're gonna be in the garden at the job site doing a little skating of our own. Hey, Evan.
Hi, Jen. How's it going?
I mean, how's it going out here? This is incredible. This is completely different from what we had before. It's just level grass. You want to walk me through how we got it all installed?
Originally, it was my neighbor John's idea,
Okay.
and he hosted it, but it was small, and this lawn deserves it for the size that it is.
So how did you get it level? How did you come up with the dimensions for the space?
Yeah, originally the whole backyard sloped because there was an old carriage house. I used a backhoe and leveling it out and doing a tiered system that you saw back in the spring.
Yep.
And then while I was at it, neighbor John was like, why don't you add self-draining spigots? Then we could just have water, you know, in the winter.
Once you have it all level, then you put the boards up, right?
What we figured out was, you know, if I'm able to use the outdoor rated plywood,
Right.
we ripped that down to the height you see. It's like 16 inches. And I just put some wooden stakes at, you know, where it meets. We ripped it down to like 16, 18 inches high.
Okay.
And a couple of screws was enough to hold it in place. And then once the ground freezes, and then it's ready for the liner.
Right.
And they make it specifically for outdoor ice rinks. And so it's all one piece. It's
Right.
this white on white, both sides.
That's 7 millimeter thick, right?
Yeah, and this one has like a rip stop system, which is sort of that weave pattern, because inevitably a skate will nick it, a puck will ding it,
Right.
things like that. And so that kind of helps to keep it from tearing too far.
So this is an essential part of the rink. And then
Definitely.
how many hoses did it take to fill this thing?
Too many. We did it in about 3 or 4 big floods.
Okay.
And you know, it looks level if you look at the backyard when you were here in the spring.
Yeah.
But you know, over the span of like 90 feet, 1 inch,
Travels far.
yeah,
Right? So this is 90 by what, like 30?
30, 35.
Okay.
Yep.
So is it ready to skate on?
Absolutely.
All right, well, I brought a few friends. You mind if we have a go?
Yeah, you know, I brought a few as well.
All right,
Let's get a game.
see you on the ice.
So this is winter in Saratoga Springs.
All right.
What's up?
Hey, so where's Tommy?
Thank you.
Tommy, we
See
need
you on the ice.
You guys ready to drop the puck?
Keep going. Yes. Yes.
well done. Nice job.
Nice work.
All right, Archie, what do we got coming up next time?
Well, I think it's about time for heat pumps, don't you think?
Heat pumps would be great. We're looking forward to it.
We need some heat.
Old house, hey, good night. All right, boys,
All right,
let's go.
yeah.
Next time on This Old House.
I go to welding school to help make some goals for our backyard ice rink.
Perfect.
And we'll no longer need these to heat this building.
We're going to primarily throw 3 insulations at this.
Look at that right there. So that's our new 400
That's our
amp
new
service.
400 amp service.
Copper and much bigger as well.
Yes.